Yeah, Ozzy is.
Even you cannot believe that.
And we were just waiting for answers if he's still alive.
Why you're not using soccer?
Stop!
It's 50% of accepted on stage.
Did it feel anything like back in the old days?
I mean, it's also my history. Now it's Peter's history. And I know Peter, he can do some crazy stuff.
Hello, you metal pilgrims, and welcome to the new interview episode on the channel. And today I'm more than happy to welcome not one, but two people, father and son, Udo and Sven Dirkschneider, who I believe don't need any introduction. So, Sven, Udo, thank you so much for finding time and joining me today. How are you guys?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you very much. Everything good?
Doing very good here. Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's an honor and pleasure, guys. I right away I have to point out I grew up on Udo, on your voice on early accept. My father, late father, was a huge fan of yours. So this is the music I've been listening to since pretty much my childhood. So it's an honor for me. So obviously the big news about Udo these days is the release of your new 18th studio album, Touchdown.
19th.
19th. This is unbelievable. I from your tone of your voice, I can hear that even you cannot believe that. But first of
It's
all,
a lot.
yeah, congrats, guys. I know it can be super nerve-wracking. It can be really hard with these with the economy and everything that is going on in the world. So first of all, congrats. Before we do anything else, can you talk a little bit, take us back on the time machine and talk a little bit about the creative process behind it and how it all formed into this one coherent piece we can hear today?
I mean, we started out, I think it was still during COVID times to write this album. So, I mean, obviously we couldn't go on tour. So there was plenty of time. And after the latest record came out, we pretty much started, yeah, to focus on the next record. Because who knew, I mean, how long it would take. And it ended up to be 2.5 years of not playing shows, not going on tour. So we pretty much had the time to do songwriting. And usually we love to go into a studio and do everything all together, which was not possible, obviously. So we had to work around it a little bit, and it was more sending files back and forth. Luckily we can use the digital world nowadays to do so. And yeah, then obviously while the writing process, there were a couple of events that forced us to stop here and there. There was a big flood here in Germany. My house got flooded, so I lost my studio. We had to stop because there was no place to work for us to write lyrics and stuff like that. And yeah, go into the studio and record vocals. So yeah, then obviously the war started in Ukraine. Andre was right there in Chernihiv, and we were just waiting for answers if he's still alive for, I think, a month.
Yes.
Until we finally got him out there. So that was another event that stopped us from writing music. But in the end, I think all of this, formed into the music that it is right now, and that's why the album is so strong and so powerful and maybe so aggressive, because there was a lot of output that we had to give for this album. So yeah, that was the process of Touchdown.
I mean, yeah, I agree totally with Sven. I mean, there was some things around us we didn't expect, and then that was like, in the end, I think we put everything in all the songs, they have on this album.
Can you talk a bit about this American football theme and the whole crocodile? I'll be honest with you, I lived in the United States for quite some time, right? So I lived in Boston. I've been going to American football, quite some time, but I'm as far from it as you can possibly imagine now.
Right.
So explain it a bit and just, yeah, how did it come to be?
Yeah, I mean, for the first time, I think we didn't have any title for the album. That was like, yeah, that was like, But then we was in South America, we're sitting at the airport in a sports bar, and there was American football going on, and then we hear, it was always like touchdown, 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 and we said, hey, this is the title for the album. Everything works perfectly with touchdown. It's not only the American football, but it's also touchdown. That means also we are landed with our album, music-wise. So we get there where we want, winning and powerful. It's the same what they have with the American football. And yeah, and then of course, then we said, okay, this time we don't want to do any pictures like chain and metal, the typical man. No, we said, okay, now then we want to make pictures like with a football clothes, American football clothes. So, and then there was a team in Cologne. We asked them that we need original stuff. It was also not easy to put that stuff on. And but yeah, and then we did these pictures, and I mean, it's sometimes good to surprise people, that you are doing something different. And so far, everybody said, "Wow, yeah, fine." Of course, some people they say, "Why you're not using soccer?" Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but
Next time.
why not tennis or table tennis?
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Well, I think it was cool. I was a bit worried, like I was not sure because, and I'll be honest with you, I've heard this album a bit earlier than most of Mortal Human Beings, and it's been in my playlist for a couple of weeks before its release. The label has sent it, and when I saw the picture and saw everything, I was like, what is that? Is that going to be a concept album dedicated for the United States or something like that? But
No.
but then since I already have this, I believe, rather settled down opinion about it, I am allowed to voice it now, and I have to say that, in all honesty, and with all due respect to some of the previous albums, I honestly believe that this is the strongest work Udo has put out in several decades.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
I actually truly believe so, and musically, lyrically, and and overall. And this album also marked your reunion with the former Accept bandmate Peter Baltes. How was it working with him? Was it like, did it feel anything like back in the old days?
It feels in a way a little bit like in the old days, and I mean, it's nice to have him back. For me, it's like he never went away.
Only it's been a couple of years in between.
Yeah, but it's now like to be together with him on stage, and it's like, oh yeah, it's still here. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's a really nice atmosphere, and he feels very comfortable with the band, He's already together with the guitar player. They're working already on new stuff, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So, I mean, also Peter said, I mean, come on, this is so much fun in this band, everything is so open-minded, no egos going around and blah, 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 It's like, yeah, I mean, what can I say? I mean, it's good to have him back.
Talking about the egos and this whole thing, and I know that some of the medias wrote that Udo is a family business now, is a family-owned and operated business. But
I mean, that came naturally over the years, I think. I mean, we both called Dirkschneider, so yeah, we run it as a family now, and we like it, and of course we discuss a lot what we do. But so far, I think we created, or we approach, like, to be a very strong team, and that works out, and it's really cool and enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, that's also a very important thing, First of all, it's good that we don't have an ego in there. Be open-minded, to everything. And I mean, of course, there was some part also on this album that I said, I'm not sure about this. But it works out in the end. If you're open-minded and try something, then in the end, yeah, it works out. And also, I mean, the whole team, what we have, it's a band. It's still our producer. Also, still, we are working together with Stefan Kaufmann, He's doing my vocals still, and he's working with Sven together. He's recording the drums. I mean, this is a real big team, and everybody is into that, and open-minded, and yeah, they do the best what they can.
This is awesome. This is great to hear, guys. It really feels like a coherent organism rather than, one or two individuals, put it down.
Yeah. And that I think is the most important thing to us in the end, that everyone feels comfortable and no one is like, aside from anything else, like if you have something to say, then please tell us, and we will tell you, and then we can discuss it. And yeah, just be open-minded, and we try to involve everyone as good as possible.
And you also played a couple of shows under the name of Dirkschneider this year already, and you are confirmed for at least one show as of right now. Let's not talk about more yet for next year. So do you think that with Peter now in the band, this might actually happen a bit more often?
No, no, I mean, in a way, Dirkschneider at work normally, I try to explain that a little bit quick. We was on tour nearly 3 years with Dirkschneider, played only accept songs. And then I said, I never ever play any accept songs again, But I think I was a little bit, but I think I was a little bit too quick with this, But, and then we said, okay, we keep Dirkschneider alive. I mean, at the moment, we only do Dirkschneider on festivals, if the promoter asking, oh, can you come as Dirkschneider? Then we say, yeah, don't have any problems with that. And I mean, of course, now with Peter, it's nearly, it is 50% of acceptance on stage, So and in the end, I always say, give the people what they want,
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's also my history now, it's Peter's history, and the band also like to play all this exact stuff, And that's it's good to see the people enjoy this, And that's like we entertain people.
And would you do anything special because the 50th anniversary of Accept Formation is coming up in a couple of years, very, very soon. So do you think you would like to do something extra special for that 50th anniversary?
Oh, I mean, this is not like with Accept. This is only my 50 years anniversary. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we will see. We start talking about this. I mean, that will be happened then in 2025. Yeah.
5, I think, yeah.
Yeah. And and then maybe, I mean, I was just in Wacken on Doro's 40th anniversary. I mean, for a woman, hello, 40 years in this business, hello, that's a chapeau. And and then we will see. Maybe we do also something like that, making a big show with a lot of guests and whatever. So we will see. We're working on that.
This is great. I actually saw you at Wacken this year, and we were standing with Andre because he's also, he lived in Ukraine, obviously. We're talking about volunteer work and just helping out Ukraine in a way. And we also spoke about how incredible it was that Doro was able to unite so many metal legends on one stage for that one magnificent night. And I'm about to release actually an episode about saying that, it was one of the highlights of Wacken Open Air overall. So how was it for you playing it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was also for me, it was nice to see like Phil Campbell, Mickey D, the singer of Blind Guardian, Uli John Roth, and I don't know, the guy from In Extremo, yeah. Michi, and I mean, that is also you can enjoy Belladonna of Anthrax, So we was talking about a lot of things. It was nice. With a big meeting.
This is awesome. Well, I hope that you guys will be able to make it to Ukraine very, very soon. I know guys, you have a huge following here, a lot. As I said, my late father was a huge Udo fan, and the following here is huge, and people are waiting for you over here.
Yeah, it's a really sad situation, I mean, that's we feel really sorry for all the fans what we have in Ukraine, I mean, but at the moment, not possible. But we hope, cross our fingers, maybe as soon everything will be over, hopefully very soon, and then we can talk about touring again, So, yeah. But in the meanwhile, yeah, just only can say hello to all our Ukraine fans,
Regarding the tour, the upcoming tour, you already announced a couple of dates, but you also have a couple of dates before it starts. The touchdown dates are like separate now, and then you have a couple of dates in September still.
The dates in September this year and in October, they're still we put them in the festival season. So I mean, we do have them up and coming, but it's still part of the festival season 2023, and then next year. The dates that we announced will be the official touchdown tour that we will focus on as soon as the shows are over in 2023.
Yeah, and I mean also the touchdown tour looked like that we started in the United States beginning of November until the middle of December or something like that. Also Canada is included. So I mean, quite busy, and I mean, what you see already, like touring next year. There is, I know that already. Norway is missing, Sweden is missing, Finland, Denmark, and blah blah. A lot of countries, and yeah, there will be a long tour, European tour, and then I know there will be more coming up next year. And so yeah, quite busy.
And how do you guys go around? And with 19 albums now in your catalog, it might be hell to choose songs to play. So how do you guys do that? I mean, do you guys sit down, brainstorm, and try to come up with a set list? How do you even?
Sure. I mean, we are already talking about it for a while now, because I mean, we always try to change things up. I think that's also important for the people, but definitely there are classics that you can't ignore. You need to play them. It's a must to do that, which makes it even harder to get a set list together where you want to change things. And I mean, the set list that we had for the Game Over tour, we already sat down during the festival season and discussed which songs we want to put in for next year, and might play some songs that U.D.O never played or didn't play for a long time. So we want to keep it interesting for the people. And then, of course, you have to fit in songs from the new record as well. So, yes, as you said, it is hell to get a good set list together. And yeah, it's an ongoing process, or a never-ending process,
Yeah, but I mean, it's like it's in a way a nightmare. But I think maybe it's better to stop making albums, and it's getting much easier.
No way, you cannot, because apparently Peter is already, have some ideas for the next one.
Yeah,
definitely.
How you guys do it? I mean, you just released Touchdown, and you're already not maybe in the studio yet, but you're already jamming to some new music.
I mean, songwriting never stops. It never stops. So you keep on writing and writing and writing and writing. I mean, it's also, I might be a bit different as a drummer, but guitarists, they will never stop playing guitar the whole day. So you have to imagine that, And if they play the whole day, they can be productive the whole day. No, I mean, it comes naturally for them, and it's a never-ending process. I would say it never stops. So you write when you can. So they write on the bus, they write in the backstage area, they record little riffs and stuff like that. So we have it already when the real songwriting process will start. I mean, there will be a designated time where we go into a studio. And I really hope that we can do it this time again, meet all together and just write music face to face. But they never stop writing stuff, and that's good.
Yeah, for me also, like, I'm really looking forward for the next album. I mean, Touchdown is out, but I mean, I'm really looking forward also that Peter will be involved in songwriting, I mean, I know he's a brilliant songwriter. That will be very interesting, with him together with the two guitar players. I think there will be something coming up,
This is very interesting that you mentioned this, because what I felt about Touchdown, in a way, that it's and why I personally might have enjoyed it, more than some of the other works even, is that it has this perfect mix for me personally of this old classic early 80s sound, yet at the same time modern music at the same time, and modern metal at the same time. So, and if we're talking about Peter being involved in the conversation, start an next record, it might be even more balanced out, and it might have a little bit more of this old school influence, even more. But then,
no,
that's the funny exactly.
No. I mean, Peter told me he was so impressed of the songs what we have on this album. Okay, but he was just he recorded the bass guitar, but it was also very important. He gives also another push into that. But Peter said, now I'm in a situation, I can write different stuff, It's open-minded, and it's not like, okay, we have to do always the same, blah, blah, blah. And he's really looking forward. And I know Peter, he can do some crazy stuff, I mean, I know some songs from Peter from earlier days. There will be...
I mean, don't forget that Peter is coming from the progressive days. You know, he loves that stuff. So I personally have a bit of a feeling that we have to say, Peter, stop. You know, it's like no, but I'm really looking forward to write songs with him. That will be awesome. And as my dad said, the team which forms or already formed during the festival season and the last tours we did last year with D and Andre and Peter, that will be something. So I'm really looking forward to receive these demos and listen to that. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy to say, but I'm really looking forward to the next album.
This is awesome, guys. Hopefully it will come out at a, you know, in a reasonable time, and we'll all be able to enjoy it. Udo, I have a question for you that quite a lot of people wanted to know about. You were writing a book, I remember. Is that correct?
I'm working on it.
You're still working on it. When is it going to be out? Is it going to be out? And you know, how is the process there?
Yeah, but I mean, I already have 100 pages. But you know, I need somebody to work together with me on this. You know, and so now I have a guy, and it looked like I will go there in January. That's the only space we have for me. And then, I mean, I will sit with him together maybe for 3 or 4 days, you know, speak in his phone or whatever, you know, making notes, and then he can start writing on it. For me, you know, I'm not a good writer. I can tell you everything, but to get this together, I mean, I cannot do this on my own. So that means this is the only chance I have now. And then, I mean, I know a lot of people asking me, you know, when you were coming out with the book. It will be happened, but I mean, maybe to get finished with that, I mean, maybe in 2025 or something like that. Okay. Maybe to my 50th of an anniversary. Yeah. I may say it on stage, and then I read something and I tell the people something on the book.
Bruce, who knows? He might go on a tour, because Bruce is doing that, right? I mean, he's on a tour.
Bruce is doing that, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I wish Rob would do that as well with his books. Those were great, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I can keep you here forever. Honestly, talking about heavy metal is my biggest passion, as you might tell. But there's limit to these things. So a couple of more questions, and I'll let you go. Guys, can you tell one craziest story which happened to you on the road during your career?
My career, crazy stuff. I mean, I had crazy times with Ozzy Osbourne, you know. Yeah, when I was in 89 on the Mean Machine tour, I did the whole European tour together with Ozzy Osbourne, and I remember one show in Switzerland, you know, and then we were playing, and then the tour manager of Ozzy came and said, "Hey, can you play another song?" "Yeah, no problem." Then another song? Yeah. And we saw the whole band of Ozzy was standing there, you know. It's like they said, "We don't know," you know. And then another song. And then our tour manager came and said, "Okay, one more song," and then off stage, directly into the nightliner, and we have to leave. Ozzy is not there. But the reason why he was not there was the day before we had a show in Milano, Italy, and he was, I think, drinking a little bit too much, you know. So, and then, I mean, the promoter said that will be a nightmare. And then we were just a little bit away from the venue, and then we heard the announcement of the promoter. "Yeah, sorry, Ozzy cannot come." And then the people were freaking out, you know. I mean, there was, I don't know, 6,000 or 7,000 people. It was like, they're going nuts, you know. And yeah, I mean, Ozzy, and then also the next day next day was the show in Germany. Yeah, cancelled. He was still in Milano and recovered. Yeah, Ozzy is yeah. But anyway, he's a nice guy.
Of course he is, and we all, of course, the heavy metal community hopes that he will be able to either go on the road or at least perform a couple of shows next year. Power Trip has been canceled, but maybe next year, a show or two at least. That would be great. I still have my tickets to Sweden. I was supposed to.
From when was that? Yeah, three years ago.
Yeah, 2019. Right? I bought them.
2019. Yeah, crazy.
Wow. Well, Anyway, hearing those stories, I mean, just makes me hope that I'll see you guys on the road once again very, very soon. Udo, Sven, any last message for the fans, both old and new, all across the world? Anything you want to share with them?
Yeah, hopefully the people all over the world, they like the new album and get it. It's, I think, a very interesting U.D.O album. And yeah, hopefully we see everyone on tour. I mean, there will be a huge tour coming up. And I cross my fingers that we also come back to the Ukraine one day.
Thank you.
That would be awesome. And until then, stay safe, stay sane, and stop war.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. This was Udo and Sven Dirkschneider, guys, who once again don't need any extra introduction. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys, and keep rocking.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye-bye.